I'll have to count up and make sure I'm right, but the first 117 minutes of the season has been done and dusted. We'll talk more about minutes in the game later on, but what would you have learned from the game, and now you've taken stock of it?
Yeah, again, we've got to respect and give praise to what the opposition we were playing against. We're going to go through a little bits with the players just to show a little bit more courage with the ball, particularly after 25 minutes we hadn't really we put a couple of good moves together and perhaps could have scored a goal ourselves, but just having that courage beforehand, and the stuff we've been working on, you know, when you watch it back, it's there to actually do. It's just pushing the players in that direction to keep believing, keep doing it. We were too open through the middle of the pitch, so something we have to address quickly. But I'm drawing on the more positive side of it. The team that come from 2-0 down against a team that's going to be up there ticks a lot of boxes for me, showing character, and some of the football we were playing. Yes, there's going to be times where we're going to have to go a little bit longer in trying to get in behind teams, but some of the stuff we worked on was definitely there, and a real positive start to the season.
In your starting 11, you gave starts to the likes of Dimitrio, Nevitt, Long, Connor Thomas, all players who've had little injuries throughout the summer, not probably done the full 90 minutes. Take that into account. Will that benefit them, and will also the 90 minutes that the other players played benefit them as well at that level of competitiveness?
Yeah, when you play 117 minutes, it's going to be, you know, obviously we made some changes, but we've spoke about that this morning with a couple of the players. Obviously they've missed some training and not many have completed 90 minutes going in. Again, small squad, we have to look after the players to make sure that we got what we wanted. We got the players to the first game of the season, and we've taken so many positives away from that, and it can only do them good. You don't want to be, like the word overcooked gets used, you don't want to be peaking right now. We know what we're doing, we believe in what I'm being told to do by the sports science, the physio departments. I'm sure we're going to see a real fit Crewelix team.
You're not going to divulge your team selection, what you're going to send out at the Stadium of Light, but you'll obviously be assessing every option that you can have. Yeah,
they've been through a real thorough testing this morning, which took an hour and a half to do, all the hamstrings, etc. We'll get information back from that, but from that information we've got everybody fit for selection that we want to, and then it's just about what we're going to decide to do, what we have decided to do going into the Sunderland game with the players.
So it's the first cup tie of the season, quickly off the back of Saturday's opening game as well. What a great place to go. I know it's a real tough game again, like you had your opening one at your League Two level, but this is a real tough place to go, isn't it? A real hotbed of football, but one I'm sure that you want your staff and your players to embrace.
Yeah, you've got to embrace it and take on that challenge, and it's a club that I feel's getting back to where it probably should be, you know, heading towards the Premier League, the season they had last year. Really good manager, was fortunate enough about a month ago to spend some time with him. A real good fella, young players. He wouldn't have got the start that he wanted yesterday, but towards the middle half of the second half you could see what they're really about in terms of their energy they've got. Good players, and it's a club that's really going back to where you associate Sunderland with, but we've got to take that on. We've got to enjoy it, but cliche, we're not there to make the numbers up. You know, we've put a plan into place and we want to see that plan executed.
Well, you've mentioned and I've mentioned how many minutes you played, of course, over the weekend. Sunderland actually beat you because they played 13 minutes in one half extra in the second half, so you haven't got an advantage on that one.
But I was hoping there was going to be more minutes. Sorry, how many can they top it up by? Look, I get why they're doing it. I understand why they're doing it. The ball in play for a League Two is really low. I get that. There's a number of factors I feel that make that happen. The players are running record amounts of distances, more than they've ever ran before. Where does it stop? So you put 19 minutes up, are they still adding time on? So someone's taking their time, but well, they should be. So the game shouldn't ever really stop. So if you're short of a goal, I don't get I understand the reasons for it, but it's gone too far for me. I think you're going to get players who are injured. I'm shouting on the pitch after 8 minutes, it's going to be 20 minutes left. Fans again are going to have to used to looking at 80 and thinking, oh, there could be another half an hour here. Because it will happen. There'll be a 20-minute game with some goals, injuries, whatever. I just feel I'm with the players on it. The players, not just crew players, a lot of players, what's going on here. You're going to get injuries. There's going to be goals scored late on in games. And what you meant to do as a manager, criticise your players when they're out on the feet. So in 20 games' time, when the season's really in full flow and they've played an extra 20 minutes in the second half and they concede a goal, players will be shattered. There'll be dreadful mistakes made throughout football. And it just doesn't feel like football to me. It really doesn't, with the numbers the players are running throughout the Football League, and don't mean just our division. It's not for me. People are going to get injured. And hopefully, common sense, hopefully us managers, I haven't heard one yet say it's the right thing to do. Hopefully we're able to get together with the FA, with the referees, and come up with a better solution than what it is now.
Yeah, while we wait on the powers to be then to make that decision, the one thing that you can influence is work on the training ground. One thing that you have mentioned that you're not happy with already is pretty soft goals they've gone in on a few occasions. You can work on that and you'll be trying to eradicate that. Yeah,
you have to get a balance as well, though, because of how we want to play. There is going to be occasions when that, but it's working on the transition. I spoke Saturday about transition against us when we have the football. Yes, we have done work in that, but it's keep on going over the same messages and reiterating to the players what we are about. We're not just a team that's going to keep the ball around the back for long periods. Yes, it will happen because hopefully we have more possession, but we want to be a progressive team. It's just making sure that structure's sound, and just players spotting what possibly could be a giveaway in terms of transition, the ball going over, just talking to them, going through it on the video, going through it on the training pitch. It's all right going through it on the training pitch because you move them and they go, yeah, they're there. It's actually highlighting and showing them how important that will be. So that's work to be done. But it's striking up that balance. Obviously, we don't want to concede goals, but we also I know what the team needs to look like and what I want my team to look like. And that's, hopefully we saw some of that Saturday.
And that one area that looks strong is it looks like there's goals in the team.
There's goals throughout the team. 2 set plays, the second one, again with the game going on, but it was something that was worked on with the second one. Perhaps did it a little bit too late, but they ended up with the scenario that we were after. But there is goals throughout the team. Back players chipping in already, obviously with the goals. The front players look like they're going to be a real handful. Jack Powell's going to chip in with goals. Joel Tabner's, we're going to be pushing in for goals and assists. Like at Barnsley, Shiloh got in. But it's easy just saying that. We've got to make sure we look a goal threat. I thought we looked miles more of a goal threat. Players arriving in positions we'd want them to. And again, loads to build on. Just making better decisions. You're defined by what decisions you make on a football pitch. Just coming up with the right decisions at the right times.
Yeah, that is exactly what the next question was. You got an encouraging point against a very good team. You come back from 2-0 down. And now you're going to play a championship side that will be there or thereabouts themselves. A game that you're really looking forward to, I should imagine. I know it's hard, but it's a game that you can look forward to with one eye on next Saturday at Swindon. Yeah,
really looking forward to the game. As a group of staff as well, we're looking forward to the game, the tactical side of it, how that might look. The players, like I've just touched on, should be wanting to embrace it and enjoying that. We've got a young team, and they should be striving, these players, eventually, when we are a good team, not good individuals, when we are a good team, they should be striving to be playing in these arenas more often than not. But really looking forward to it. Hopefully we get some crew fans there and put on a good performance.